there used to be things called encyclopedias and dictionaries and history books. And yes, children, there used to be a thing called journalism. Now, and I'm putting this a bit crudely, what many people have instead is Wikipedia, vastly influential around the world, a huge treasure trove of information. It hasn't made its creators billionaires, although it employs nearly 300,000 editors. It is an extraordinary thing. But can Wikipedia and its Wikimedia Foundation survive forever, independent of the vast US tech giants? Is its idealistic reliance on the wisdom of crowds naive in the age of artificial intelligence and intense, well-organized global lobbying? And how will it be affected by new laws on online safety, not least here at Westminster? Its founder, Jimmy Wales, joins me now. It's great to see you there, Jimmy Wales. Can I start with the online safety bills, which is the immediate thing, of course, in front of a lot of tech companies? What is your worry about this?
Well, the biggest worry is that the bill is designed to go after some of the worst things on the internet, but we end up getting caught up in it. At the debates in the House of Lords, lords from all parties agreed that this should not apply to Wikipedia, and yet they didn't manage to amend it to exclude sites like Wikipedia. You know, a lot of the provisions...
I'm sorry to jump in. This would mean that you're forced to try to verify the age of people using Wikipedia, for instance.
For instance, that is a possibility, that people would have to, you know, sort of prove their age before they can access Wikipedia, which, of course, because we're used by students, presents a pretty ridiculous situation. Although, to be fair, we keep being reassured again and again and again that, of course, Ofcom wouldn't ask that of Wikipedia, but they have the discretion to do so, and we think that's problematic. We don't have the resources really to engage with Ofcom in the way that a big tech giant can. So, you know, for us to divert resources into sort of educating Ofcom and dealing with Ofcom is a bit, well, it's a burden for sure.
And is there any risk at all to Wikipedia staying and operating in this country because of the proposed law?
Well, I don't think so, but it's, you know, as a practical matter, it's because they wouldn't dare block us. So, you know, ultimately, the public would go insane if they said, oh, Wikipedia has refused to require kids to prove their age before they can do their homework. So we're going to block them. That's just never going to happen. So I more think that the
governments are not that powerful.
Well, yeah, exactly. And they would be embarrassed by passing bad legislation that would actually harm Wikipedia. But it's, you know, the whole thing is there are other aspects that don't necessarily apply to us that we are concerned about. The potential to attempt to disrupt encryption, which is one of the most important safety features of the internet. That's very problematic. And I don't think, you know, I don't think any of the major providers of chat apps or discussion apps, messaging apps, what I'm trying to say, they're not going to do this. And so, again, I think the government risks an enormous embarrassment if WhatsApp and Signal and Apple Messenger all choose to just pull out of the UK and we all lose access to WhatsApp, because they'd rather do that than break encryption for the entire world.
Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, portrays himself all the time as a great friend of the internet and the tech world, and somebody who understands it well. Do you think his government is actually demonstrating understanding of the internet?
Well, no, and this online safety bill has been in the works for many years, and it's a real hodgepodge it's a mess of different things. It needs to be torn up and start all over again, but at this point, that seems unlikely. So we're just hoping and trying to make a last-ditch effort to say, look, actually, exempt public service sites, exempt community-driven projects that aren't in any way a source of the problems that you're trying to deal with.
Let me ask about something we've talked about a lot on this program, which is AI, and in particular ChatGPT and those kinds of systems which spend their time remorselessly munching and chewing their way through Wikipedia and attempting to digest all that information. Do you regard AI as a threat to Wikipedia in any sense? How do you deal with it?
No, I mean, we don't. I mean, right now, the biggest issue is the hallucination problem. So if you ask ChatGPT a question, particularly about something obscure, it will very eagerly give you an answer, whether it just made it up out of thin air or not. So the quality is nowhere near enough to have us concerned. What we're more interested in right now, though, is to think about, are there ways that it is truly a technological breakthrough with the large language models. Is there a way for us to make use of it in a positive way? Could an AI, for example, read articles in Wikipedia and look for places where we contradict ourselves or where we contradict our sources and give hints and suggestions to our human volunteers who then can review those? So I think there's some real opportunities to use it, to leverage it to help our community improve Wikipedia. But, well, we're exploring it like everybody else. It's kind of a very fast-moving situation.
Could you use AI, do you think, to spot and call out material on Wikipedia which is written by AI?
I think that's very difficult. And I think a lot of the efforts people have for detecting AI-generated text are going to fall down because in many cases, it's truly indistinguishable, other than the fact that it makes stuff up out of thin air. So I don't think that's really likely. It's very different from an image where there are these sort of deep artifacts in how the lighting hits and things like that. It's just words.
So I'm really interested in this because we keep being told that AI can replace vast tranches of human activity and is going to do so very quickly. And that must make you think there's a possibility of AI, frankly, writing Wikipedia in the future.
Well, I wouldn't want to say this is impossible if we look out 50 years in the future. I don't know what that holds. But by the time you can write a full-fledged sort of encyclopedia article with a deep understanding of all the sources and so on and so forth, wow, we're really at very, very close to human level intelligence at that point. That's not just a really interesting pattern matching algorithm. That's actually, we're nowhere near that breakthrough yet.
Elon Musk recently suggested that he might want to buy Wikipedia, and you were very quick to say Wikipedia is not for sale. Now, I am not your bank manager, but I suspect you're not a billionaire, Jimmy. Is there a kind of sense that you are surrounded by these great brontosauruses drooling and looking at you, and eventually you're going to be gobbled up, I don't know, by Meta or by one of the other great big US tech giants? Can you hold them off forever?
I think we definitely can. I mean, we're a charity, so we're a nonprofit organization, and I'm a volunteer. I don't actually work at the foundation. I have my role within the community and so forth. And so there's really no interest or discussion of any kind of doing any kind of a transaction or anything like that. It's sort of like saying, wow, the Red Cross, that's a really great brand. Maybe somebody could buy the Red Cross. Well, it just doesn't really make sense. That's just not who we are. We're really dedicated to our public service mission, and trying to give everyone in the world a free encyclopedia is still very much at the heart of everything that I think about every day.
Well, that is really, really good to hear. There's never been any moves that you're aware of, have there, by the Musks or the Zuckerbergs to try to buy you? No,
nothing like that. I mean, many, many years ago, a venture capitalist who should remain unnamed said to me, well, why don't I just give you $30 million and then we'll figure out how to get it out of the nonprofit structure? And I was just like, no, thanks. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yes.